Hey, this is Pete, and today we are going to install an INNOVV camera on this bike right here. So along with the parts, Jessica Shine from Products That Shine, this, which is relatively self-explanatory. Took me just a second, but this goes with this. So you have a front camera. I believe it has 512 gigabytes built into it. I added another 512 chip to it. But this thing basically goes as a front and a rear camera with this whole setup here, which is beautiful. The whole thing is, honestly, it's not too heavy, but you can tell it's made of quality. The lenses are quality. The connectors are quality. These are all like mini BNC, and they're all sealed and everything like that. A lot of this stuff is either chromed or stainless. And this is by INNOVV. This is their K5. And this box has been with me on my trip all the way up to Alaska and back. Unfortunately, I didn't have the tooling to be able to do it, and I just needed this little gizmo right here. This is going to go right here. So once this thing is mounted, I believe the camera will go there, but this will allow me to put that camera up on the front of the bike, and we'll go through the process of the installation. I got my buddy Eric here with me in Las Vegas. He's going to provide me the shop and tools and everything like that to get this thing installed, and I'll do the best I can at showing you how this is done. Okay, so I skipped over a lot of my own conundruming through figuring out stuff. I watched a couple YouTube videos on how to install this. There was a lot of really good pointers. I went about it a slightly different way because my bike is configured a little differently. If you were to open this side piece right here, there's all kinds of stuff going on between the lights and the GPS and the phone charger and those other things. So I didn't want to try and make a how-to video because my how-to was honestly going to be a little different than everybody else's. I will go through what and where I installed and how I went about it. Eric was instrumental in helping me. Definitely bring a friend, always bring a couple of beers. What can go wrong? So with this was the first piece that, because I've thrown one of these on here, this needed to be installed a little bit differently. It goes right here. This is an INNOVV product. This mounts the camera to your top bar in front of your bike and holds it off in such a way that it's easily accessible and you can get all of your accessory wires. All of your wires do go up to, this is your DVR, all your wires go up to this guy, all your wires go to and from that guy. For a front camera to have that much stuff going on does change a little bit the way you have to route things in terms of wiring, and I'll go over that in just a second. First, with this on here, this bar wanted to lean back a little bit because I've already got a bracket up against here. So what we ended up doing was bending this back on a vise, and that made it fit perfectly, made it perfectly level. It was super easy to do. This then just needed to be mounted right here, and that sort of dictated the rest of our wiring. What I did here was I created some wire loom so that I had all of that stuff off to the side, sheltered a little bit, and somewhat protected, because when you can see, when you go full lock on this, you're coming right up to where it is. It's touching it, but it's not pressing into it or crimping it. The way I've got it set up in there, this bit of wiring, which is every single wire that goes to and from this bit, comes to there. That said, I found routing without having to take the tank apart, which is a different experience, I think, than for most people. What I ended up doing was routing right back through here. That little spot right there, you can see where my wiring comes back, goes right over the top cylinder, and avoids this front cantilever. That brought everything back through here, which I then allowed to coil back up behind here, routed up from here, which is just to the side. And then my power distribution for this is actually underneath here. It fit underneath there perfectly. If you pop this out, and it's not too hard to do, there's a little space where you can put your power. Power went from a couple different spots. I found constant power right there and right there, which I don't want to show you because I've got so much stuff going to and from there. It's a bit of a mess. From there, I found a constant or switched power, which goes right to this. This is part of your your CAN bus. This is something that I added. Now, this is not going to be the same as everybody else's stuff because what covers here, this is, that's the wire that you'll find on all of them. This is switched power. And what I have going to and from it is this bit right here, which, if I can uncover it, there's two 7.5 volt or amp, 275 amp fused links right here, which continue power up to your CAN bus, which controls everything on this little bit right here. That's your cruise control, your menu, your ABS, all your stuff is controlled from here. So I was able to take from this, which this is not a stock item, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't really go through in detail how I was doing the installation, because I have a Corbin seat, which is a beautiful seat, which is heated. So what you're looking at here is a non-stock item, and this takes and splits power up to the CAN bus, which is up there, and to the seat. So since this device, this camera, does not add a whole lot of load to something that's already a heavy load item, which is the heated seat, I just took a bit off of that, tuck this back in there, shove it back in there, and we're just going to pretend we didn't see that. So from there, we went up in through and ran. Our rear camera is connected right here, right off this, and we played with a lot of different configurations, but this one happened to be probably the best. It hides the camera off to the side where it's not going to incur damage from somebody swiping it or, you know, hitting it in a parking lot, or if rocks fly up or so. It's a little bit more protected right where it's at. And so we mounted the camera there, ran it through here, ran the GPS there, because that's probably about the only spot that once the seat is on, it's going to have a straight shot straight up, and it's going to be able to get transmission from there. Most of those wires came through here and then through this channel right along here. Drop down from there, tried going in through here, you would have to take the tank off, went through a bunch of stuff here, just decided to go straight down through here, right down into here, and then have everything pretty much meet here, and then come up through there, up to where it is right there. Eric did a good job of mounting my GPS and my start recording button right there. Real easy to get to. It's one of those things you can just bam, you can hit and go. And like I said, with all the electric things that I have on this bike, this is a bike that I've taken cross country. I've taken it up to Alaska and everything like that. There wasn't a whole lot of room to stuff more things in there because I already have a CAN bus back here. I already have a clear water lights. I already have a heated seat. I already have a GPS. I already have a wireless phone charger. There's a lot of accessories plugged into this bike, but I still managed to find the room that I needed to make this go without worrying about wires crimping on each other or anything getting squished or damaged or anything like that. I believe this installation worked out really well. So to summarize again, we have rear camera, GPS, record mount, power control is underneath this guy right here. Everything run on this side of the bike, right through here, right through these, wire loomed them together, and then right here to this guy right here. In a minute, I'm going to download the app, take this thing for a ride, and we will see the quality. And of course, I'm going to have to orientate the camera, do a couple little fine-tuning things, but I'll start sending you some stuff here in a little bit. Pass coming from the Nevada side going up. This will get me into Yosemite and over the mountains that separate Nevada from California.